In 3 days, this valley will decide the fate of Japan. 200,000 samurai will clash here in the largest battle in Japanese history. But today, 3 days early, history is about to meet something it was never meant to meet. 12 United States Army Special Forces, Green Berets, dropped into 1600 Japan by a DARPA experiment that went very, very wrong. Facing them, 1,000 samurai loyal to the Western Army. This is what happened in the next 40 minutes. 2027, Colorado. A classified DARPA facility designated Chrono's Atlas. Its mission, to simulate extreme asymmetric combat scenarios for Special Operations Training. ODA 7314, 10th Special Forces Group. A hand-picked team for what they believed was a virtual training simulation. At 3:47 local time, something went wrong. The team was not inserted into a simulation. They were inserted into Japan. The year, as they would soon determine from terrain, architecture, and a confused farmer who did not recognize their uniforms. October 18th, 1600. Captain Marcus Hayes, team leader. 2 tours in Afghanistan. He did what Green Berets are trained to do: assess, adapt, survive.
I don't know how, I don't know why. Right now, that doesn't matter. We hold this ridge, we don't have to beat them, we have to outlast them.
Their equipment: SOP mod, Block 2 configuration, M4 carbines, suppressors, night vision, radios that now connect to nothing. Belt-fed M240 machine gun, rate of fire, 950 rounds per minute. MK-22 precision rifle, .338 Norma Magnum. Effective range, 1,500 meters. 1 FGM-148 Javelin anti-armor missile. Top attack mode, fire and forget. Their opponents? A samurai force of approximately 1,000 warriors, loyal to Ishida Mitsunari, mobilizing for the Battle of Sekigahara 3 days away. 200 mounted samurai, 400-foot samurai with katanas, 300 Ashigaru spearmen, 100 Yumi archers. Their commander, Akechi Kagetora, 40 years old, master of Shinkage Ryu swordsmanship, a man who had never lost a duel. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." But 2,000 years later, in a valley in Japan, deception was about to meet something it could not account for: thermal imaging. Honor versus firepower. 40 years of training versus 20 minutes of combat. This is how it happened. Hayes' first tactical assessment: the ridge. 40 meters of elevation, dense cover on slopes, natural defensive position. The crown was rocky, open, and offered 360 degrees of observation. Sergeant First Class Eli Webb established sniper overwatch at the highest point. His effective engagement range exceeded the samurai's entire visual detection range. The remaining operators established a perimeter, interlocking fields of fire, range cards drawn, claymore mines deployed on likely avenues of approach. 4 claymore mines, 700 steel ball bearings per mine. At 6:22, the first samurai scout approached the lower slope. Webb tracked him through the loopholed Mark V HD optic at 600 meters.
Hold fire, let them report. We need them committed.
Hayes made his first tactical choice: let the scout return. A committed enemy is easier to engage than a cautious one. The scout reported strange warriors on the ridge, unusual armor, no horses, perhaps 15 men at most. Kagetora did what any competent samurai commander would do when faced with a small, unknown force. He sent 200 men to destroy them. Yoshida Tadamasa, 28 years old, Kagetora's second, a warrior who had never known defeat. First contact in 7 minutes. Yoshida's force advanced with centuries of martial tradition behind them. They had reason to be confident. In 10,000 battles fought on Japanese soil, this kind of force had never lost to 15 men.
Webb, prioritize command element.
Cooper, hold. Everyone, weapons free at my call.
Webb's first target, Yoshida Tadamasa, identified by his distinctive crimson armor. Range, 600 meters. Wind, 3 miles per hour, left to right.
Target 600 meters. Mild crosswind. Sending it.
First shot. The samurai had never experienced a weapon that killed from 600 meters. They did not understand what they had just seen. They did what samurai had done for 400 years. They charged. 200 minus 1 came for the 12.
Weapons free.
At 250 meters, they began falling. The Ashigaru archers released their Yumi, longbows effective to perhaps 200 meters. The Green Berets were positioned at 400 meters from the archers. The arrows fell 150 meters short.
Sir, I've been shot at by Taliban, ISIS, and my ex-wife. Samurai's a new one, but same rules apply. Put rounds on target.
M240, 950 rounds per minute. 250-meter engagement range opened. 16 rounds per second. Each round transferring kinetic energy, equivalent to being struck by a freight train traveling at walking pace. At 400 meters, the cavalry formation still advanced. 80 riders in tight formation. The Green Berets used the weapon they had brought for this exact scenario. The FGM-148 Javelin, top attack mode. Designed to destroy modern main battle tanks. Its first target in 1600 Japan, 80 mounted samurai. 32 cavalry dead, 15 horses killed. The remaining cavalry turned. Honor demanded they continue. Physics did not care about honor. Of Yoshida's 200, 120 lay on the slope. 80 withdrew to report. Kagetora listened without expression.
これは何だの？鉄の鳥が空を飛びたい。意味差が我らの兵をままくたい。だが我らは食べだが、体育選択肢はないど。
Kagetora did what every great commander does when frontal assault fails. He adapted. First contact ended at 14 minutes. 120 samurai dead. Green Beret casualties? 0. But Kagetora was not finished, and darkness was coming. Sunset, 1738 local time. Darkness brought 2 advantages, one for each side. The Green Berets had Generation 3 night vision, white phosphor, passive infrared. They could see in near total darkness. The samurai had 400 years of night warfare tradition. Shinobi, ambush, silent approach. They had done this before. Kagetora selected 150 of his most experienced warriors. Armor was removed where it would clank, blades wrapped in cloth, faces blackened with ash. They moved in small groups of 3 and 4, 30 meters apart. No talking, no signals except prearranged hand gestures.
Eyes on. They're coming. Cooper, Webb, thermal overwatch. Everyone else, NVG sweep.
Thermal imaging. The samurai had mastered the art of darkness. They had never fought in a world where body heat betrayed them.
They're good. They're very good. They just can't see us.
We see them.
They approached within 20 meters of Hayes' perimeter. None of them knew. The first 3 claymore mines, 2,100 steel ball bearings, 31 samurai dead in 4 seconds, suppressed weapons, subsonic ammunition. The samurai could not identify where the fire was coming from. They did the only thing they could do. They charged blind. 1 samurai reached the perimeter. Master Sergeant David Cooper took a katana graze across his left forearm. 12 centimeters, not deep.
That one earned his ancestors' tape.
Of Kagetora's 150 elite, 70 reached the ridge. All 70 were dead. Cooper was bandaged. The wound would heal. He had been lucky. Miyamoto Musashi wrote in the Book of 5 Rings, "The way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death." The samurai remembered this. The Green Berets did not need to. They had technology instead. Dawn found Kagetora with 200 men left. Of the original 1,000, he had lost 250 to the ridge. He had inflicted 1 wound. A lesser commander would have withdrawn. Ishida Mitsunari was 3 days away and needed every man. Kagetora had a duty.
だが我らは食べだな。最後の一人まで戦うと。これが道だな。
650 samurai prepared to charge up the ridge. They did not know what awaited them. They only knew they had been ordered to advance. On the ridge, ammunition was counted, fields of fire confirmed, water was consumed. Captain Hayes conducted his final radio check.
Copy that, Actual. We're advancing to the ridge line now. ETA 5 minutes. Wilco.
The final charge. 650 men against 12. Statistically, 54-1. Webb began with officers. Each .338 Norma Magnum round traveled at Mach 2.5. 5 shots in 40 seconds. 5 commanders dead. The samurai organization began to fragment. Machine gun zone opened at 300 meters. Combined rate of fire, 1,700 rounds per minute. They did not stop. They did not waver. Samurai doctrine required advance until ordered to halt. Kagetora had given no such order. M320 grenade launcher, high explosive 40mm rounds. Each detonation killed or wounded 8 men in a 3-meter radius. An old archer, perhaps 50, with a family somewhere in the valley below, continued to release arrows until he could no longer stand. They reached 200 meters, 150, still advancing. The Green Berets had fired 12,000 rounds. Kagetora advanced at the center of the final wave. His pride would not permit him to lead from behind. Hayes identified Kagetora. He recognized an enemy commander doing what he himself would have done.
Commander is advancing. Center. Cooper, engage.
80 meters. Cooper's M240 fired a 6-round burst. He did not release his sword. With their commander dead, the charge faltered. Half attempted to retreat, half continued their final charge. Those who retreated were engaged at extended range. Of the original 1,000 samurai, approximately 50 remained standing. They withdrew.
Cease fire. Let them go.
50 men returned to Ishida Mitsunari's camp. They reported what they had seen. No one believed them. The engagement lasted 47 minutes, from first shot to last shot. Samurai killed in action, approximately 950. Green Beret casualties, 1 superficial wound. Ammunition expended, approximately 15,000 rounds. The kind that comes only after catastrophic violence. Akechi Kagetora was 40 years old. He had trained in swordsmanship since age 6. 34 years of mastery. Marcus Hayes was 38. He had trained in military tactics since age 18. 20 years of mastery. This is what technology does to courage. It does not kill it. It does not dishonor it. It simply makes it irrelevant. 3 days after this engagement, the historical Battle of Sekigahara took place in this same region. Over 160,000 samurai fought. Tokugawa Ieyasu's Eastern Army defeated Ishida Mitsunari's Western Army. The Tokugawa shogunate was established. Japan entered 260 years of peace. ODA 7314 was recovered by a controlled reversal of the Chronos Atlas anomaly 43 hours after insertion. All 12 personnel returned to the DARPA facility in Colorado. The project was immediately classified at the highest compartmented level. No record of the engagement exists in Japanese historical sources. The story was considered too impossible to commit to writing. Oral traditions in villages near Sekigahara mention the Day of Lightning Warriors for several generations, then fade. Akechi Kagetora's katana was never recovered. It is presumed his men buried him with it, somewhere in the hills above Sekigahara. Which brings us to the question this channel exists to ask. 1,000 samurai faced 12 Green Berets. They lost 95% of their force, but they inflicted a wound. They died advancing. They never dishonored themselves. So tell me in the comments, the samurai lost, but did their honor die with them? Or does honor exist in a category technology cannot reach? Next week on Chrono Vanguard, what happens when an American guided missile destroyer encounters the Spanish Armada of 1588? If you've made it this far, You're exactly the person this channel is made for. Subscribe. The ancient world is about to be unmade, one impossible battle at a time.